There are loads of reasons why freelancing is actually more secure than your full-time employed job, which is why I want to talk about this comment in this video today. First of all, before I get into that, I do want to say there are a lot of reasons not to freelance. Like, you might not want the responsibility, you might love your colleagues, you might love your job, you might just be on to like a really good deal as you are. So for example, this person has actually got 20 years of experience in the industry. They're saying that it's more lucrative not to freelance. In that case, of course, don't freelance. And I know it probably feels like I'm recommending freelancing like above all else, but I'm actually not. I'm just trying to talk to a pool of people who do want to freelance, who have a sense it's what they want to do, they want to travel, they want to work at the same time. That's who I'm talking to. So even though my TikTok might come across like I'm preaching that freelance is better, I don't necessarily think that. I think the goal is like happiness and like creating a life that suits you. And if that's full-time work, that is really fine. So these are the reasons why I think that freelancing can be more secure than being full-time employed. The first reason is that just because you're full-time employed doesn't mean that that job can't go down, like that company can still suffer. Just look at this article from NerdWallet. There were 261,997 workers who lost their jobs in tech since the beginning of 2023. That is a lot of people. And some of these people are like genuinely really talented, really skilled people. They're just losing their jobs. Now, you might think that a freelancer is going to be one of the first people to go. And to some degree, you are right, because the company isn't contracted to you. They can just get rid of you if they want to. But there are reasons why like hiring freelancers is actually quite safe for a company, and therefore potentially safe for the freelancer, because they can hire you for a short period of time. You don't do like a 3-month contract with you and know that they can like essentially get rid of you, but you've got that in your contract. You know what's going to happen. Also, if one of my clients was to resign me, I would have a pool of clients who I can go and get work from. And I have really good relationships with my clients. So let's say I got laid off by my biggest client, for example. I think I could go to some of my smaller clients and say, oh, hey, this has happened. Unfortunately, I'm not working with my biggest client anymore. Do you have any more work? Is there anything I can help with? And I don't think that would happen to me. Like, I would have to go and ask my current clients for work, but you do build relationships and like they are there. You become like almost like friends, kind of. Also, a second reason why I think freelancing is slightly more secure is that like I might get a sense earlier that something's going to go on my job. Now, obviously, you get like a bit of this in if you're, maybe your company's coming up for redundancies. You might get like a little feeling about it. But as a freelancer, you're closer to it. It's like your boss knows before you that the company's starting to struggle. Like maybe they've known for months and months before you even get a sniff of it. Whereas as a freelancer, I'm the direct contact. I might feel that client's like behaviour changing, and I can just start to plan. Third reason is, as a freelancer, you might start off as like a solo freelancer doing certain jobs. What you might find, if you're quite an ambitious person, is you'll outgrow your role. Like you will actually like progress in your career, even though you're the only one to begin with. And then what you can start to do is outsource work. So you essentially hire another freelancer to help you with your workload. Now, when you do that, you would hire someone who's like perhaps earlier in their freelancing journey than you, not as strategic as you. Maybe you need to train them to do it as well as what you do. You train them into your business processes, because that's what you are as a freelancer. You are a business. You hire them, you would pay them less than your hourly rate, because they're a newer freelancer, they're not as good as you, they're also not doing the invoicing, they're also not getting the clients, they've got less work and responsibility than you have. You give them that work, you profit on their time, basically, which is how business works. And then in the worst case where you lose a client, you can take that work back off the freelancer and you can have it back yourself and put the money back in your pocket, and then they've got another pool of freelance clients. Now, obviously, you don't want to ever have to do that to someone you've hired. I've got people I hire. I would hate to take work off them. I'd probably suffer myself first before I did that. Like, I'd have to get into I'd have to really need the work in order to do that. I'd rather just have less money. But the option's there. Obviously, there are loads of downsides to freelancing. You've got to be responsible to go and get your clients. You kind of never stop pitching for work. So you always want to have like some leads, a pipeline. That does come though. Like, I don't have to work very hard for my pipeline. People contact me on LinkedIn. People contact me on Upwork. Like, people know who I am. They know what I do, and they're interested to work with me. So I don't really have to like work really hard to get the leads anymore. But it doesn't feel like hard work to me because I love what I do. And you do have to love what you do as a freelancer. You are a small business owner, and it's going to be, it's going to be hard work sometimes, but if you love it, it doesn't feel like it. As a freelancer, you do have to navigate all the problems that come with running a business. You have to sort your invoices, you're responsible for your pension, you are responsible for your training. It is very like all encompassing. Like, you are running a small business, and essentially you're almost like a member of staff of that business, and you need to almost function, I think, mentally like as a business and as the human that works for that business. So I'm Zoe, I'm the SEO strategist within my business. I'm also kind of like the founder of this boutique agency brand where I hire myself and other freelancers essentially. But I need to like separate those two roles sometimes, and I need to kind of force myself to go and upskill myself, go and do a training course, go and pay for it. And if it's very, like I said, it's all encompassing. You have to love it, you have to be passionate about it, and you know what, there's absolutely nothing wrong with not being passionate about that kind of thing. Like, if full-time employed feels safe and secure, then stay there. Like, the goal in life is to be happy, or the goal in life is to be fulfilled, is to be satisfied, is to live a good life that aligns with all of your wants. For me, that's freelancing. For someone else, it might not be. I don't think one or the other is better. I really don't. I just think that you just want to live your best life, and however that looks.